evening on this Friday, the 22nd day of August 2025. You're just in time for the day's news. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. We will be taking a look at today's conundrum towards the end of this news bulletin, where we will take a look at the dangerous politics trends witnessed with the return of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from the United States. Stay tuned for that. First, the day's news. Now, it was a heart-wrenching evening at Kasarani Stadium as the Harambee Stars bowed out of the CHAN quarterfinals after a tense penalty shootout loss to Madagascar. Kenya had the perfect start to the second half, with Alphonse Omija firing the home side into the lead in the 48th minute. The crowd erupted as the Stars took control, dominating play and showing real attacking intent. But Madagascar hit back in the 69th minute. Lalaina Rafano Mezantoa was brought down in the box, and the referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. Fenehasina stepped up and slotted in the equalizer, bringing the game to a nervy 1-1 deadlock. Both teams pushed for a winner in extra time, but the deadlock remained, forcing the match into penalties, which the Madagascar has won 4-3. Despite the loss, fans have congratulated the Harambee Stars team for playing a good game so far. Now, in a similar breath, transport was paralyzed along major roads ahead of the Harambee Stars versus Madagascar quarterfinals match at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi this evening. Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo urged Kenyans to bear with the inconveniences caused by heightened security arrangements. Omolo said the measures are necessary to ensure full compliance with strict regulations set by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. CAF had responded to the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, request and increased the stadium capacity to 80%, allowing more than 38,000 Kenyans to throng the stadium to watch the match live. This as other Kenyans also organized watch parties on big screens mounted on different locations in and outside the city, causing a traffic nightmare through most of the day.
Thika Road kushafungwa, wamefungia pale bypass ya Kamakis, hakuna kwenda town, tena hata hakuna kurudi na Thika. Na option yenye ilikuwa ni bypass. Kukuja huku watu wote wamefungiana. Sasa kasi imekwama.
Nimekuwa Jacaranda mashughuli kidogo nikamaliza around 9. Kukuja hivi bypass imeshikana, Kamiti Road imeshikana. So leo kwenda job imekuwa noma sana. Wangefunga kuanzia saa 7 inge make sense, lakini saa hizi ona watu wengi, angalia hata wewe mwenyewe unaona around. Watu wengi saa hizi wamekosa kwenda job. Mimi sasa hata nilikuwa naenda job kumit client. Sasa imebidi nimpigie simu to reschedule.
Kawaida so bei lazima ya rais mazee juu sasa hii ni opportunity. Unaona? Bei lazima tupandishe juu bado lazima mimi nijue venye machoro meje nitapenya na wewe mpaka nikufikisha mahali unaenda.
Moving on, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has condemned the violence witnessed yesterday during the homecoming of former Deputy President and leader of the Democracy for Citizens Party, Rigathi Gachagua. Gachagua's homecoming reception was disrupted after hired goons ambushed his convoy, leading to injuries and destruction of property. Speaking today during the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum in Kirinyaga County, Murkomen also blamed DCP leaders for failing to notify police officers of their political activities yesterday. Alice Diana tells us more.
Just a day after violence was witnessed during the homecoming reception of former Deputy President and leader of the Democracy for Citizens Party, Rigathi Gachagua, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has condemned the chaotic scenes. Hired goons ambushed Gachagwa's convoy at City Cabanas area along Mombasa Road few minutes after leaving the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, leading to injuries and destruction of property.
I have said, and I think I'll repeat this to this morning, that we do not condone any kind of violence by anybody. And we request political leaders to cooperate with police officers in all the investigations related to violence. We want everybody to carry out their political activities in a peaceful environment, and we don't want violence.
Murkomen, who was today in Kirinyaga County for the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum, has however blamed the organizers led by Gachagwa's DCP party for failing to engage security agencies in advance to ensure order and compliance.
When I said 3 days ago that we were requesting members of political party that wanted to hold a political activity yesterday, when I said that they need to notify the police, I heard one of their leaders, former senator, saying that they have no obligation to notify the police and that they don't need the police to hold their meeting. So unfortunately, as a result of the absence of that notification yesterday, the police were not aware about what was going to happen, which route, what place. I wish they had heeded to my advice. The reason why the law says you notify the police is not because it's not that the police so that the police can give you the right to hold meetings. No, it's just for the police to provide security.
Murkomen has warned that suspected goons who violently attacked ex-DP Rigathi Gachagwa's convoy will be arrested and prosecuted.
Those events will be investigated. Anybody will be found culpable, regardless of their political standing, will be held accountable. Anybody who organized for people to be stoned, journalists who were hurt, we will take a very stern action against any person who is involved.
At the same time, the Interior CS criticized the homecoming reception accorded to the former DP at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, expressing his disappointment at what he described as political games being staged at one of the country's most critical and protected installations. He claims that police officers present at the airport were caught unprepared due to a lack of prior communication from Gachagwa's team.
I was, for example, very saddened that political activists were going to play games at our airport. I mean, you could see people want to invade inside the airport, and that is a very serious issue. The airport is a protected area. It's not a place to play the kind of politics that we saw. And you saw, people entering inside the airport just with a lot of razzmatazz for absolutely nothing, for pure zero political value, zero economic value, zero PR. Whatever it was being done, it was just useless. And for it to be done inside the airport, it's just totally unacceptable.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Much appreciated, Alice Diana, for that report. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has concluded 89 high-profile investigations over the past 8 months. Making the announcement at a press briefing today, CEO Abdi Mohammed said the completed case files have been forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions for appropriate action. Among those under investigation are 4 current and former county governors and 2 sitting cabinet secretaries. The cases resolve around serious allegations, including embezzlement of public funds, conflict of interest, money laundering, and possession of unexplained wealth. Commenting on the recent bribery claims made by President William Ruto, the EACC clarified that no evidence has been presented linking members of parliament to the allegations. He, however, confirmed that some members of parliament are being investigated on separate criminal matters related to the management of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, also known as NGCDF.
8 months, as you are aware, I'm in office for about 8 months. The Commission has completed 89 high-profile cases and submitted these cases to the Director of Public Prosecution for action. Notably, 4 of these cases involve current and former county governors. This also involves 2 cabinet secretaries, former cabinet secretaries, that is, principal secretary, CEOs, and MDs of various state corporations. In addition, the Commission is at advanced stage of investigating the following: 1, 5 sitting governors; 2, 11 former governors.
And on that note, let's take a short break on Newswatch tonight. We have more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
Mimi nataka kukubaliana na wasi.
Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
This September, Uhuru Park will thunder with revival.
This place that gave birth to a revival to a continent will once again give birth to a revival to a generation.
5 days of worship, word and breakthrough. Experience word that awakens destiny and presence that transforms lives. Join a nationwide awakening like no other. Come as you are, seeking, believing, expectant. Rema Feast 2025.
And so here it begins again from the 1st to the 5th of September 2025.
Entry is free.
Welcome back. Now, a section of United Democratic Alliance UDA leaders from West Pokot County have lamented over discrimination, misuse and lack of inclusion in ongoing women empowerment programs in the country. Former Kacheliba Member of Parliament Mark Lonmolkulan who raised concern, noted that some politicians have taken advantage of the program, leaving out some women who are not allied to them. He has called on the president to put in proper plans to ensure every woman benefits.
Kumekuwa na fundraisings across the country na imetufikia West Pokot Kwa hivyo ninashukuru kwamba hiyo ni program ambaye inafaa kuendelea. Ila tu nataka kutoa advice ama shauri kwamba hiyo mradi imekuwa misused na wanasiasa, sababu wanasiasa wamebagua wamama wasio ambao hawaungi mkono kisiasa. Ningependa kuomba His Excellency the President ajaribu kuangalia which way ama mbinu gani ambaye anaweza tumia kwamba hii pesa ifikie Wakenya wote bila kubaguliwa. Hapa Kachaliba ni watu wa mirengo fulani ndio wamefaidika na sio wazo mzuri, sababu hapa Kachaliba kidogo kwa mambo na uongozi ilienda kando na chama ya UDA. Kwa hivyo hata wenye wamenufaika ni wale ambao hawakuchagua hata president wakati ule. Sikatai, lakini ningependa kuwe na mfumo ambaye inajumuisha kila mtu. The program should be inclusive to all the people. So this being a trial, I want to suggest that the government should sit down and find ways that can eradicate discriminations into these programs. Na program iendelee.
West Pokot police officers have destroyed 13,390 liters of illicit brew in Aramaget and Amari in an ongoing crackdown on illegal alcohol and drug abuse in the country. The operation, led by West Pokot Sub-County Police Commandant Patrick Njenga, OCPD, targeted areas notorious for illicit brew production and consumption. These include Kongelai, Aramaget, Kamatira, Siyoi, Konglai and Mathare. Speaking during the operation, OCPD Njenga revealed that most of the arrested suspects were women engaged in the illicit brewing business. Authorities were shocked to discover that some brewers had dug tunnels inside their houses and on farms to hide alcohol from law enforcement. Local residents have welcomed the crackdown, urging law enforcement agencies to sustain the fight against illicit brew and drug abuse.
Mimi nataka kukubaliana na waziri na katika kikao chetu tumeamua ya kwamba any OCS, any chief or assistant chief, mahali pombe itapatikana kwake achukue msalaba wake. Mumeona vile afya ya watu ya hapa iko. Nataka kutoa onyo kwa wapikaji. We are coming for you. You will run away, but not forever. Or you can hide, but you can never run away. Onyo langu ni kwamba wachana na pombe haramu West Pokot. Kwa sababu I know huwezi pingana na serikali. Tumeamua and we are going to finish it.
Lakini mimi naomba sana. Kuna wakati tumeleta ulalamishi huko juu. Paka mkasamebewa namba. Nyinyi watu ya juu kwa station munasaidiana na watu ya pombe. Kwa sababu tunaleta na pombe na kesho asubuhi amerudi, hata jioni amerudi. Na anarudi na pombe yake. Na amesarudi na amewacha pombe huko na anakuja kuanzisha. Nyinyi watu ya huko juu mtusaidie watu ya chini. Ndio tukue na nguvu ya kufanya.
President Ruto has hailed TCAD's faithfulness to its founding principles of African ownership, inclusivity, openness, and genuine partnership. Addressing the ongoing TCAD 9 in Yokohama, Japan, Ruto said Kenya deeply values Japan's consistent support in critical sectors. He said Africa is richly endowed with natural resources and a youthful population of nearly 400 million, bursting with energy, creativity, and innovation. Yet, systemic social challenges persist.
Over the years, TCAD has remained faithful to its founding principles of African ownership, inclusivity, openness, and genuine partnership. We commend the government of Japan and the co-organizers for sustaining this unique framework. Kenya deeply values Japan's consistent support in critical sectors: education, health, agriculture, energy, infrastructure, and security. These partnerships have been central to Africa's socio-economic progress.
Now in business, the Kenya Vehicle Manufacturers KVM has resumed local assembly of Volkswagen models including the Touareg, Tiguan and T-Cross under a level 2 completely knocked down, that is CDK arrangement, signaling a renewed commitment to localization, job creation and technology transfer in Kenya's automotive industry. This coincides with a visit by the German embassy officials to the Kenya Vehicle Manufacturer factory in Thika, where Germany reaffirmed its commitment to deepen their cooperation in supporting the local automotive industry to spur skills development, adoption of modern assembly technologies, and promotion of green mobility solutions.
In our partnership with various OEMs across the world, we've been able to partner with them, and we are now working on making sure that we train our workforce and upskill their knowledge in terms of vehicle assembly, so that we are able to produce vehicles that are accepted quality-wise and vehicles that can actually serve our local market. KVM, as I mentioned earlier, majority shareholding belongs to Sifao Mobility Kenya. So Sifao Mobility Kenya is one of the franchise holder in East Africa that deals with Toyota models which are currently assembled in AVA Mombasa. So one of the strategic direction that we are taking is to transfer Toyota assembly to KVM, and that will start by next year, 2026 March. So we'll be transferring the first model of Toyota, which is Hiace, followed by another model which is Land Cruiser, and progressively within 2 years we should be able to transfer all the 4 models that are currently assembled in AVA. By doing that, we should be able to grow our assembly throughput by more than 180%.
President William Ruto has called on Africa to reform and revitalize agriculture so as to stop exporting raw materials for processing in other countries. Speaking at the last day of the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, in Yokohama, Japan, on Friday, the president said Africa's urgent challenge is to accelerate the pace of inclusive wealth creation to eliminate poverty, create jobs, and restore dignity. He pointed out that the practice must change to correct the imbalance in global trade, a situation that has locked out Africa out of opportunity and stifled the aspirations for industrialization.
Shared prosperity is the tide that lifts all of society. Africa's urgent challenge is to accelerate the pace of inclusive wealth creation, to eliminate poverty, create jobs, and restore dignity. This requires correcting the entrenched imbalance in global trade, where Africa exports raw materials and imports finished goods at a premium, a structure that locks our people out of opportunity and stifles our industrialization aspirations. Partners like Japan can help remedy this skew by investing in local manufacturing and industrialization, supporting local agricultural value chains, and financing renewable energy systems to power industry. Africa has abundant resources, land, minerals, renewable energy, and a young tech-savvy workforce. By adding value to what we produce, whether it is coffee, tea, minerals, textiles, or services, we build industries, create local wealth, and therefore empower our citizens. Resilient, adaptive, and inclusive societies form the foundation of Africa's transformation. The societal pillar challenges us to invest deliberately in people, including their health, education, and their well-being. Only then can Africa unlock its vast potential through holistic human capital development. Africa is richly endowed with natural resources and a youthful population of nearly 400 million, bursting with energy, creativity, and innovation.
In sports, the Kenya women's national volleyball team Malkia Strikers have raised concerns over limited resources as they prepare for the 2025 Women's World Championships in Thailand. Currently in Thailand, the team has appealed to the Ministry of Sports to urgently address their unpaid allowances, which they say are affecting morale and focus during this critical preparation phase. The players and technical staff are calling on the government to fulfill its financial commitments, emphasizing that timely support is essential for their performance on the world stage.
We say one team, one mission, but for this, Kenya Volleyball Federation, we ask you to help us achieve that mission. We came here with a target and you don't want to lose it. Bwana President, we are also your children. Motivate us. Bwana CS, you promised us that our money will come. Help us. We need something so that we can achieve what we came here to do. We are suffering, and that's why we are making this kind of a video. Everyone here is suffering. All the players are suffering. The coaches are suffering. But because we are patriotic Kenyans, we just came with one target. We are trying to let nothing distract us. We just ask the Kenyan people to move this video so that every of our grievances that we've raised will be achieved. Thank you so much, and we just pray that everything will be achieved soon.
Kwandanze girls volleyball team are the new queens of East Africa after delivering a spirited performance to clinch the 2025 East Africa Secondary Schools Sports Association volleyball title. In a thrilling final, Kwandanze overpowered a determined Kesogon side with a 3-1 sets victory, showcasing tactical brilliance on the court. With this win, Kwandanze solidifies its legacy as a dominant force in East African school volleyball. On today's conundrum, we take a look at dangerous politics. The return of DCP party leader and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua could have been a routine affair, no different from the return of any other Kenyan from abroad. But instead, it became a full-blown political spectacle. Supporters thronged the airport, tensions flared, and chaos unfolded. The scenes were anything but ordinary. And once again, Kenya was reminded of just how messy and dangerous our politics have become. Why did it have to be such a big deal? Why does almost every political moment in this country feel like a high-stakes standoff, complete with goons, heavy police deployment, and sadly, injuries? The increasing patterns of violence surrounding political events, from protests to homecomings, is deeply worrying. Upon Gachagua's arrival, what followed was confusion and a near stampede as the former deputy president was seemingly smuggled out of the airport to avoid confrontation. In the aftermath, journalists and innocent Kenyans are nursing injuries. All of it purely avoidable. Who will take responsibility for the lives endangered every time political muscle is flexed? It has been said that everything rises and falls with leadership. What message does this chaotic event send to the public? And here's the bigger concern. If this is the atmosphere before the official campaign season for 2027 has begun, what can we expect during the elections? When will we as a country move away from violence as a political tool? When will our democracy mature enough to allow for constructive criticism and dissent without violence? This event paints a grim image, dismissing the democracy enshrined in our Constitution. It has been said that when two bulls fight, it is the grass that suffers. My take? Kenya's help lies not in the bulls that fight, but in their creator. For Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1 says, "In the Lord's hand the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who please him." And that is today's conundrum. And it's a wrap here on Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Till next time, have a good night.